And the players getting together for a little chat as we're just about ready to get going here. Welcome, everyone, to this 2K Sports broadcast live in Los Angeles at the Staples Center. Welcome to the NBA. Kevin Harlan here with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg for 2K Sports for this Friday afternoon broadcast. We've got a chance now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. And with Kobe Bryant, we'll be keeping our eyes on him.
And he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty, and the way he can blast his way straight through traffic. He's really strong.
Another thing about him is how quick he is to react when he's defending near the hoop. A lot of his blocks, so to speak, come at waist level because he pokes the ball away as his man is on the way up. You know, it's always strange to see how a team will react when they lose one of their biggest stars. Last season, the Celtics were thought to be dead in the water when Rondo tore his ACL, but they actually rallied and went on the winning streak after the injury.
Tip-off goes to the Lakers. Fisher against Rondo. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Well, Clark, as you said, with Rondo and the Celtics, they would go on to win the next 7 right after his injury. And overall, Steve played better than expected the rest of the way.
Sometimes that's the way these things go, Kevin. A star player goes down, everybody else kind of steps up, and instead of feeling sorry for themselves, they use it as a rallying cry. And all those role players for Boston really picked up the extra slack, and I thought they made a great push to end that season after the Rondo injury.
And that one misses.
Well, for the Lakers last season, it seemed there was so much turmoil throughout the year. Injuries, coaching-wise, changes in the offense. And they never were able to really gain any momentum. They made a decent run at the end of the season, but that didn't carry over into the postseason when they were swept by the Lakers in the first round.
That one misses. I think going back to D'Antoni and the Lakers, that Howard and Gasol were made more than a little disgruntled with how Clark he made use or didn't make use of them offensively.
You know, the Lakers brought in D'Antoni to try to emphasize Steve Nash and his role in the offense, but I think they neglected how that would affect the 7-footers. Didn't do a really good job of incorporating those guys, and when you've got Kobe getting his shots, that's a tough dynamic to work with.
And he gets it to go.
I bet that's what they talked about before the game. You know, getting the ball inside early.
Well, it worked to perfection there. I like the game plan. Get it inside, force the defense to react, and then play off your big man.
Now here's Perkins. It's rebounded by Radmanovic.
Excellent interior defense there. Good rotations.
No doubt about it, Steve. He's a real presence inside. Takes up a lot of space.
Odom against Garnett. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Kevin Garnett.
Well, for Lamar Odom, it clearly was a bit of a bounce-back year with the Clippers last season after his horrendous season in Dallas 2 years ago. I mean, he got his rebounding numbers back up and played consistent minutes for the Clippers.
First one falls for him. Well, for Lamar Odom, you mentioned it, Clark. His numbers recovered a bit last season after a dreadful year before at Dallas.
Well, you just wonder if he can ever get back to who he was, which was one of the best all-around players in the NBA. He could defend, rebound, make plays as kind of a point forward. You know, age is catching up to him a little bit. Lamar, still a very skilled player, though.
And Odom drops him.
Not many teams, guys, in the East did very well against the West last season, and that in mind, you could call Boston's 14-16 record against the conference better than most.
Now here's Rondo. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Rondo's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Well, they just gave him 2 points. Defensively, you're going to have to tighten things up here. That's not a good sign.
And for the Celtics against the West, even in the shortened season, they were having a lot of trouble with some of the bigger lineups, Steve. More of the up-tempo teams out west.
Well, the Celtics were old and a little bit small, too. Kevin Garnett played center last year, so they played a lot of small lineups. And when you're small and you're old, sometimes, you know, that's going to cost you, particularly on the road.
Now here's Rondo, following the miss by Kobe Bryant. Here's Garnett. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Well, you know, when Rajon and Rondo went down last season and the Celtics looked to be out of any title contention, Kevin Garnett, guys, became a very hot topic on the trade market. And with his ability and experience, that should be no surprise.
That free throw, no good. You talked about what Garnett can bring to a team. He's still an impactful player. Offensively, a deadly jump shooter. He reached 25,000 points last season with Boston. Also a great passer.
But it's defensively where he really makes his mark. One of the best defensive forwards I think the league has ever seen. His ability to communicate, to guard pick and roll, to switch out onto point guards and stay in front of them. And then the intensity, the intangible that he brings to your club.
That's good from Gasol, and the assist from Kobe. Gasol's got his first points of the game.
Look how well he led him there with that pass.
Rondo against Fisher. Rondo, good.
Dropped that one in as soft as a feather using the finger.
Gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. Rondo against Fisher. Inside to Gasol. Lays it up and banks it in. But Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet.
I think both teams feel like they can win. They both have confidence. So we'll see which team can kind of ride the momentum and take control of this game.
And the basket by Pierce.
Well, nice way there to get your first basket of the game.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. Boston making a switch here. Posey's checked in. There's a minute left to play here in the first. Odom. Boom, he jams it straight down. Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Allen for 3. The rebound by the Lakers. Fisher dishes to Odom. Kobe kicks it to Odom. Back to Kobe. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Yeah, they've been the aggressors, Clark, and getting the ball inside into that lane area has been huge for them.
Rondo's shot is off. Lakers leading by 3. Some firepower, Clark and Steve, from this offense.
Yeah, Kevin, how about the air of confidence? I mean, they really look like they believe in what they're doing.
Yeah, a little swagger here from this team. They're in a nice groove.
It's stolen by Rondo. And here we go. Rondo heading to the hoop. Count the bucket. Rondo's got 8 points.
Strong move to the hoop. Nice power move. I like that one.
He gets it up. No good. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Los Angeles on top, up by 1. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. Scoring breakdown for the Lakers.
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
And I like the physical play we're seeing, too, because this is a club that's really pounding the paint area and scoring inside.
We got Vujačić. Pau Gasol is out there with Odom. Then there's Kobe. And it's Fisher in at the 1. That's the Laker 5. No shortage of drama here early on.
Well, neither team can grasp control of this thing. I mean, both teams trying to get a hold of it.
What do you think, Steve?
Well, yeah, 8 lead changes already. That's a big number this early in the game. So we're in for a treat tonight. This is a competitive matchup.
Fisher against Rondo. Dishes it to Garnett. And that one's good.
So much of what ailed the Lakers could be traced to the lack of defensive presence. And it really came to a head when Magic Johnson, one of the greatest Lakers of all time, called him out about looking to play Showtime offense while not paying attention to solid defense.
And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Hey, Kevin. Jordan Farmar is back in the NBA after playing last season in Turkey. He's making about a third of what he could earn overseas, but he said, quote, "This is the only situation I would have taken a minimum deal with. I miss my family, I miss being home, and ultimately, I miss being a Laker." He's an LA native, won 2 titles in purple and gold, and guys, it's good to be back.
Yeah, he is a winner. No doubt about that. Thank you, Doris. Perkins, he's checked in for Boston. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. And going back to what Clark said, they didn't actually try to run that much based on tempo, more than what they might have been used to, certainly, Steve, but the D was a concern in a major way.
Well, it was really more about teams running wild on them instead of the other way around. You look at the Laker personnel, big front line last year with Howard and Gasol. The transition defense wasn't quite there. You throw in the injuries. They were never able to find that balance between good offense and solid defense.
And now, running up the court, Pierce pushing it up and finished off by Perkins.
Wow, this has been a thriller. I mean, the way these teams are battling, just going back and forth.
Would you like to bet that this game may end on a buzzer beater? How much would you bet?
Fisher against Rondo. Puts up a 3, and Kobe Bryant hits from deep. Kobe's got 7. We're talking about a back-and-forth game. This is the definition of
Yeah, no doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, not even through the first half, and it's been one heck of a battle.
Well, these are the kinds of games you love. I mean, 2 good teams going head-to-head, an even matchup, and both sides very competitive, on their toes tonight.
Here's Perkins. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, he's got that big, solid frame. What better way to use that with some bone-jarring picks?
Yeah, it's one of those things, Steve, that doesn't show up on the box score, but coaches pay attention to it, and trust me, the opposition notices it.
The free throw drops for Perkins.
You know, a big part of why the Celtics dropped so much last season was they weren't very good on the road. Ended with a 14-27 record away from home, which was by far the lowest of any team in the East that made the playoffs.
And so Perkins nails both of them. And as you said, Clark, rarely can you win just over a third of your road games like the Celtics did and expect to make the playoffs. And had they played closer to 500 on the road, you know, Steve, there's a good chance they could have ended up as the 5th or the 4th seed.
Well, and in the Celtics case, it wasn't their defense, Kevin. It was their offense that betrayed them when they went out onto the road. They just couldn't win the close games. And some of it was just age and injury. But so many of those road losses from last year, it just came back to haunt them, and that's why they ended up with that 7 seed.
Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Feeds to Bryant. Puts it up from 17, and again it's the Lakers.
His shooting's been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons his team is up in this game.
For Boston, they've gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Rondo off the pitch from Perkins. Perkins with the screen for Rondo. We've got 1:08 left in the first half of the game. Vujačić the pass to Kobe, and he banks in the layup. Now it's a 4-point Laker lead.
And a pleasure to watch him work at that end of the floor.
Perkins with a screen on Fisher. Rondo off the pick from Perkins. Rondo dishes to Posey. Rondo kicks to Pierce. Shot clock at 6. He feeds it to Perkins. High post shot. That's good from Paul Pierce on the assist by Perkins. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. And Fisher kicks to Kobe. Shoots a fader. That's good. Kobe's got the lead back up to 4 now for Los Angeles.
And he's shaking off a poor first quarter shooting effort. He's really starting to turn it on now, guys.
Outside Rondo. Allen, that's good.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
Yeah, and it's a strategy that has served them well in this opening half, Clark.
Kobe can't hit. 1 second left. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And we're through 2 here and a good one. Lakers lead by 2. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kobe, tell us how your approach changes when you've got teammates moving the ball and helping to create scoring opportunities for you.
Well, it makes it very easy for me. I just have to run the lane, look for opportunities to score the ball, and, you know, it's the game's very simple.
Kobe, thanks for the time. Gentlemen, over to you.
Thanks, Doris. And, folks, the halftime show is coming up next. And then it's on to the third quarter. We'll step aside right now.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Fridays are made for basketball, and now, from the 2K Sports Studios, we're happy to bring you the halftime show. The Lakers had the lead out in Los Angeles against Boston, having their way on offense, and that may be an understatement. They simply can't miss. Kobe just having his way against the Celtics. Consistent shooting from the field, making well over 65% of his shots. Not a lot of guys put up a half a basketball like that. On the other side, the Celtics looking pretty solid as well. Defensively, very disruptive. They've been effective forcing turnovers. Nice steal so far. Rajon Rondo having a huge impact. He's got 8 points and is also sharing the ball, picking up assists as well. And that's all there is to it. Thanks so much for spending halftime with me. Now it's time to send you back out to the start of the third quarter.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we resume a beautiful nighttime view of Los Angeles, and in blue there, our venue, the Staples Center. You look at Kobe Bryant in this game, I mean, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, what a remarkable half, the way he attacked the rim and scored in the paint. Defenders, they were trying to slow him down any way possible, but he still got through.
Easier said than done when he's the penetrator. His speed and agility make him extremely hard to defend. Well, let's start with the positive and the Lakers postseason. They did make it. That's all that can be said. Is the dramatic passing of Utah and the Rockets down the stretch to take the 7th seed was really the lone highlight of what would be a quick exit from the playoff run.
On the floor for Boston. At the forward spots, Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. Allen is out there with Rajon Rondo, and it's Perkins in at center. And here's Rondo. He's got 8. Going back to the Lakers, swept in 4 straight by the Spurs, and none of the games really that close. And Spurs, Steve, just dominated them in every sense of the word. Injuries didn't help either.
No, they didn't help, but the Spurs just outplayed whoever was on the floor for LA. And I think a lot of people thought that the Spurs would be a good first-round matchup for the Lakers, but that notion was quickly squashed. San Antonio just totally dominant.
And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. Here's Kobe, and another basket for the Lakers.
He doesn't need to fade away on that move. He can go straight up, make it an easier shot.
Celtics trail by 4. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Guys, the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that's used to attracting marquee free agents from other teams, not losing their own in free agency. But this offseason, Dwight Howard decided to move on, turning down a larger guarantee. A tough blow for the league's banner franchise, who'd taken out a number of huge billboards around town asking Dwight to stay. Sources said he wasn't overjoyed with the system the Lakers employed under head coach Mike D'Antoni, and also perhaps didn't enjoy playing alongside the always hyper-intense Kobe Bryant. Guys, we'll just have to see how big of a setback that becomes for this team's championship aspirations.
Well, we'll see if the Lakers can find a way. Thank you, Doris.
You know, one of the worst things to see is a young, speedy, dynamic point guard go down with a torn ACL. It happened to Derrick Rose in 2012, and last year, Rajon Rondo was the victim.
And that one falls for Rondo. Well, that ACL tear for Rondo and Derrick Rose, both of them on pretty innocuous motions. No contact to speak of. Moves they make 100 times a game, Steve, but both got caught.
Yeah, that's often the way that injury happens, though, without contact. So, you know, difficult year for Rondo. Hard to say, you know, how he could have avoided an injury. That's not happening. The main thing is just fighting to get back, get your knee right, and get going again.
You knew that at some point the window for the group of Celtics that had won a title was going to close. I mean, it was inevitable. But last year it seemed like they were going to go for one last hurrah as they added some depth and looked to reload for another run.
Los Angeles calls timeout. And getting back to the Celtics and Rondo's injury, a lot of people expected them to start the rebuilding process. Ended up standing pat at the deadline, Steve, even though there was, it seemed, a lot of interest.
You know, you want to give that group, KG and Pierce and Rondo, you want to give them another run. And they had their last hurrah. They didn't get it finished. And now you start the rebuilding project. So a lot of trades, a lot of movement over the summer. But I like the fact that they gave that club one more run. Perfect on their first 3 shots now. That's the way to start the second half.
Celtics trail by 4. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. I was able to listen in on what Mike D'Antoni had to say to his team. He thinks the use of ball screens against this defense would make a huge difference, and that's what he relayed to his players. Those are likely not the last adjustments they make today, guys. There's still time left in this one. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Doris.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Clark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Now here's Rondo. 10 points for him. Outside, Pierce. Pocket 6. Gasol with the block. But they get it back. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. James Posey's checked in for Kendrick Perkins. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third.
Well, you never doubt the role that Kendrick Perkins plays on the team. I mean, he's there to clog up the middle, rebound, and be a physical presence. He embraces that. He excels in that role. But you know what? One of the things that he's improved on is being a better passer from the center position.
And here's Pierce. After the three-pointer from Fisher. Here's the pass to Rondo. Here's Pierce. 6 points for him. And they get it, and the layup is up and in. Pierce has got 4 points in the quarter. And for Perkins, still a pretty high turnover ratio for a big guy who's not asked to do a whole lot on the offensive side.
Well, he's had his share of critics. The big thing with Perkins, he's a tremendous defensive player, and you need him when you go against the big guys in the league like Tim Duncan or Roy Hibbert. So he brings a lot of value to this team at the defensive end of the floor.
And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. 17 seconds. Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. And that one's good by Pierce.
You know, if you were only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would be ahead.
Now here's Odom. Posey covering. Odom kicks to Fisher from outside the arc. No good.
Look at the big man there. He knows how to go up and get that rebound.
Allen with it. Now guarded by Vujačić. Rondo drives in. Posey. Basket is good. The assist from Rondo. Rondo's got 4 assists in the game.
Now you threaten the defense inside and then find the open man on the outside. Good offense.
The putback, and then Gasol with the jam.
Tell you what, they're going to have to do a better job of boxing this fella out than that.
No one between him and the hoop, the right part.
Yeah, putback slams are not what you want to be giving up if you're the defense.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Los Angeles on top, up 4. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. In a moment now to check out our State Farm assist to the game, and what a pass it was by a talented point guard.
Well, this is what he does. This is the kind of plays he's known for, Kevin.
Fisher with the ball. Fisher is out there with Bryant. Then it's Vujačić. Then it's Odom. And it's Gasol with the 5 down low. That's the Laker 5.
You know, even though he's getting up there in years, guys, Powell's effectiveness shouldn't really drop off much. He's a long, skilled player who doesn't play off the ground very much, and his versatility should help his longevity.
That free throw good from Gasol. Clark, you mentioned the versatility of Pau Gasol. Steve, it's really the defining quality of his game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the ability to do so many things offensively as a big guy just really completes a team. Now you can run any kind of offense you want. And Pau, as a passer, as a scorer, as a shooter, has been one of the best in the game for the last decade.
Both free throws good from Gasol.
You know, for Pau Gasol, calling last year a rough year might be an understatement. He fought off an injury and tried to find a role on a team that was in transition. A year like that can really take a lot out of a guy.
And the shot is good. And 12 points for Paul Pierce.
And he came off that screen. The defense just couldn't get over the top. Beautiful play.
Yep, and without a hand in his face, he's going to bury those.
And Fisher kicks to Radmanovic. Looking for Gasol. He gets it there. Good on the baseline jail. And the Lakers lead by 6. And Steve, for Pau Gasol, he dealt with knee tendonitis from the first day of the season, then a concussion, torn plantar fascia. I mean, he just had one setback, it seemed, health-wise after another.
It was just that kind of season, which symbolized the fate of his Lakers, too. They just never seemed to get it going until it was too late. But, you know, with Gasol, we're talking about a guy who's remained effective for a long time in his career. And when you have that kind of skill level, I think your game can translate as you get older.
The finish. And Paul Pierce with the slam.
Well, you talk about clutch plays defensively and offensively. We saw both right there.
Well, neither team can afford mistakes. You have to manage the clock and play smart here in the waning moments.
Timeout called the Lakers. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hey, Kevin, I was able to hear the advice Mike D'Antoni gave to his team during that break. He told them the game is right there for the taking, fellas, but we've got to be first. First to loose balls, first to the rim. We have to give our all right here. Kevin, now's the time.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Rondo against Fisher. Passes it to Radmanovic. Kevin Garnett with the steal. And
Ridiculous move. Tore it down that time. Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark Power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. Fisher dishes to Gasol. Pulls it up. Kendrick Perkins grabs the miss. Perkins got 3 rebounds now in this one. Rondo passes to Perkins. Rondo against Fisher. Rondo kicks to Pierce. Rejected by Radmanovic. Outside Bryant. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Bryant's got 19 points. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Lakers.
Their defense has been outstanding, Kevin. Closing out on shots, blocking a lot of them as well.
Something else they've done is force a lot of mistakes defensively. They've been turning those turnovers into points.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hey, guys. Well, Brad Stevens had some advice for the team over that last break. He thinks they could be doing much better work on the defensive glass, and he let his guys know it. He wants to see them crash the boards hard from this point forward. Guys, they're operating under the principle that it's never too late to fine-tune the game plan. Kevin, over to you.
And thank you, Doris. Left side, Kobe. Left side, Odom. Down to 5 on the shot clock. That's good.
Unstoppable offense from both teams. I love the pace this game has been played at.
So does everybody else in the building. This has been a fun one.
Celtics trail by 4. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Fisher against Rondo. Here's Pierce. Connects. And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Huge points.
That's beyond huge, Steve. I mean, they needed that bucket. Desperate.
Outside Odom. Kobe against him. From the baseline. Good.
Kobe has been sensational.
And he's doing whatever he can to get these fans going.
Well, you know they love him here. And when he gets excited, normally the crowd tends to feed off of that.
Yeah,
True.
and that's what we're seeing here, guys. An instant jolt of energy going throughout this arena.
I don't mind that shot, though. He's an excellent three-point shooter. He's just showing a lot of confidence there.
I'm right with you there, Steve. I mean, let it flow when you're feeling it.
There's 31 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and now they decide to foul intentionally. So the first one drops, and that puts them up by 5. And so he drops them both. It's a 6-point ball game.
Well done at the free throw line. I'll tell you what, that will make things a lot easier on them if they can continue to convert.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They're down by 6. 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Allen dishes to Garnett. First free throw is good, and that brings them within 5. And both free throws good from Garnett. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here.
Yeah, you got to freeze the clock. I mean, that's the enemy in this situation.
A few misses at the line, and they're in good shape.
2 shots.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. No luck that time either. The Celtics have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession. Lakers have gone an outstanding 4 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter so far. And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible.
That's his first personal foul. 5th team foul. Shooting for Los Angeles, Derek Fisher. At the line for 2.
He drops the first one, and that puts them up by 5. Second one is good. In both at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
And you got to think those free throws are the nail in the coffin, guys.
Rondo passes to Allen. Back to Rondo. From beyond the arc. Shot is no good. And so the Lakers take the win. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.
Well, that'll do it. For Doris, Burke, Steve Curry, Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, Kobe Bryant.